This week on the 100k Footy Show, we're heading over to Gather Round.
As always, we try and turn $10 into 100k betting on the footy.
Jev, you rank every AFL team in your new tiers.
Das, you gave us the updated stock market.
Did I what? Bontempelli, it's time to buy at $12, and Tom Green has gone from 21 to outright favourite at $8.
It's Thursday. We're on our way to Gather Round. Give it a listen. Follow our story this weekend. Bye.
Welcome back to the show that's about to head to Adelaide in a brand new car with Andy Marr. Welcome back to the show that feels a little bit bad about the April Fool's gag yesterday. Welcome back to Earth, Jev, and all the Swan supporters that bought grand final tickets in March. Welcome back to the show who thinks Ginnivan got treated worse than Jesus over Easter. Welcome back to the show that's forever trying to turn $10 into 100k punting on the footy. Welcome back to the show who thinks Brisbane should delete WhatsApp. And finally, welcome back to Cam Rayner to Tinder. Welcome back to the show, boys. Jev, it is good to be back.
Oh, fantastic introduction, Das. Das, what's the difference between Wuhan and Las Vegas?
What's that?
Oh, God.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Unless you're the Brisbane Lions and whatever the fuck Zane Dorco and Cam Rayner did. Because they absolutely fucked it. Hey, I got to give a quick shout out, boys. The hoodies you're wearing.
Do we know what one's up?
Brunix. Yeah, these are great.
Moose Customs on Instagram, making us these unreal jumpers. Turn it around. We got my number. I don't know why I'm 21, but and Jevy on it. These are the unreal jumpers for your footy club, netball club, your local 10-pin bowling team, and your pickleball team. Whether you play at Eltham, Sorrento, Poowong, or Parkdale, these are fucking cool jumpers to have at your football club. At Moose Customs on Instagram. Get a custom jumper. They'll make it for any footy club.
Yes, they do. Carl,
unreal.
Yeah, all teams, and we got one for the
100k Sports, awesome. You
club.
boys are wearing them.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And they look incredible. So shout out to them.
Thank you very much.
Morgs, Lewis, how are you, sir?
Love it. Love that we're plugging. Love that we're backing the truck up. Das, I'm unbelievable. And the reason is that you might have heard the last couple of weeks that we've spoken about an app called StatMate.
Yes,
quite
we have.
a bit.
Yes.
And only because we love it and we use it for exactly what we do in the 100k, and that's look for legs that hit week to week, and we just don't find that many that hit. But StatMate we've worked really hard with to get something that we can give to our fans. We've got something that's unbelievable. So we got given an annual subscription by StatMate, and we thank them for it because we love it. They have given us a promo code for all our 100k fans. This is awesome. As I said, we're not just plugging it. This is unbelievable. 55% off the annual subscription they've given us. It's a massive chunk. So it would be $179 for the whole season. So, and I think it's about $12 a month. So you only need one multi to hit. They're giving us $79.99. So yeah, it works to be 55% off. It's an unbelievable deal.
Amazing.
As we said, we sort of got something that was worth it for you. So this app, find out for yourself, but it is unbelievable what it can give you. Still listen to the show.
Yeah.
It's still a good show, but this app is awesome, and we're going to be using it all weekend, Jev, to give us some multis Thursday, Friday, and beyond. So just quickly, the promo code is 100k55, but more importantly, if you're listening to the podcast, it'll be in the bio below, so just click that. You'll see the link to join up for your 12 months, and then if you're watching the YouTube, obviously, it's in the bio below. It's in our link tree. It's just about everywhere. We know the boys pretty well. It is an unbelievable app, and we wish we thought of it.
All right, boys, let's go on from last week. So good legs, bad legs for our 100k multi. I did have an April Fool's gag. We weren't alive. We lost on Saturday, but we actually went 16 out of 25 legs. 64%. So, boys, let's go through our good legs. How many did you have, Jev?
Nasai Wanganeen Malira for 20. He just got it in the last minute. Willem Drew for 15. Isn't he becoming a nice midfielder, Willem Drew?
Household name.
Nick Blakey for 15. Brian Myers for 20 were my good legs, Lou.
Yeah, Lang Jesus for 2. He had 3. He looked really good. Cozzy Pickett for 1. The Moneyball leg hit Das. Lockie Bramble, I think he had 29 or
27.
27. We only had it for 15, so that's an unbelievable leg. Brad Close, I said he's itching into professional forward status. Got his 1. And then I had a couple of stiffies, but because of the legs.
So did I over the weekend. I got 8 correct legs, boys.
Well
Sinclair
done,
20, Butters 25, Taranto 20, he had 35 jegs.
Yeah, that was good.
Heaney 25, Heaney for a goal. Warple 25, he had 35 as well. Tom Hawkins for 2, and Jeremy Cameron did get up the ground for 15 disposals as well.
Yeah, well done, Dan.
I've been on the last couple of weeks.
Well
some stiff legs, Jev.
Yeah, I'd bombed for 30. We thought he was going to torture us.
the bus.
Basically, played out of the cube, kicked 3, had 16 touches. Chad Warner for 25 and a goal. stiff.
Yeah.
Not happy with that. Only had 22, didn't kick a goal. And Jeremy Cameron for 3. He kicked 2 and he gave a handball to Tom Hawkins in his 350 in the goal square. So that was a bit stiff. Lou, your stiff legs?
Yeah, I had Tom Stewart. I touted this as potentially the best leg all year in round 3 only. 25 plus, it was $2.19. He had 24. And I reckon I'm putting that down to Lightning.
Yeah,
I reckon
I
if
agree.
there was no Lightning, he would have had that. And old Haydos McLean, 100K athlete, of course. But he looked, he was like he was from Poowong a little bit on Sunday.
no.
Just had one of those days. Just I had him for 2. He couldn't get on the scoreboard, but he'll bounce back.
Absolutely. Well, my 3 stiff legs, I reckon I was this close for coming 100%. Petrarca had him for 25.
Yes.
He had 23. He was 16 at half time and then just couldn't get going.
And they burnt him a couple of times.
Papley, I had him for 2, kick 1 goal 3.
Yeah, he should have.
That's close. And I had Bruce for a snag.
Yeah,
He bumbled about 4 or 5 efforts.
Oh, the one running into an open goal.
So, like, there's 3 legs that easily could have hit. So close to 100% on that. But more importantly, boys, this week we are going on tour. Yes, we are packing up the van. Sorry, I mean the ute, the Isuzu ute, brand new.
Isuzu.
And we are off to Adelaide for what will be one of the best weekends of the season. Morgs, can't wait for it.
Oh, I can't wait. And yeah, I mean, follow along. You won't have a choice because we'll be pumping out a lot of content, but hopefully a fair bit of it's funny. It'll be a good laugh. We're going to be on the Honest Beers podcast, a Q&A we're doing Friday night. So we'll be popping our heads up everywhere.
You'll see us at the footy. You'll see us at Mount Barker Oval.
For sure. We've had a couple of blokes message us that are from Adelaide that they wanted to catch up for a beer. So we'll definitely put it out there. I don't know if we have any fans in Adelaide, but if we'll put it out where we are.
I'll be beheaded in Adelaide after what I've been saying about the Crows.
It's true, though.
You've been right, though. So yeah, I can't wait to us.
Boys, no weekend launch pad because we got, as we did mention, same game multis with Stat Mates. So that's Adelaide,
We'll see them on
Melbourne,
our
Brisbane
Insta.
North, Port Essendon. You will see same game multis for that. But boys, it is now time for Jev's Tears, the second most controversial segment in all of sports. This isn't the ladder. If you want the ladder, go buy a paper, go buy the Herald Sun, or go look at the AFL app.
Yep.
A group gathered last night at the Rising Sun Hotel with a pint of Northern and a cigar to conjure up this rich tapestry of analysis, insight, eye test, and knowledge. It's Jev's Tears.
Oh,
Das.
fantastic introduction, Das.
Oh, wait.
So this is my tears. The ladder isn't a real depiction of where the teams really are.
Correct.
This is actually where I see the teams, and the teams actually are in this league. So let's get into tiers. Down
please.
at the bottom, play the kids.
Yep.
North, Melbourne, and West Coast. Figure out who's on your list now that will be playing in your next premiership and get some games into them. Sheasel, McKercher, Dersma, Wardlaw for North. Just keep playing them. Get 50 games and get 100 games into them. If you got any other kids, get some games into them. Harley Reid, debut Harvey Johnson, Ruben Jimby. Just keep playing these kids. Get 50, get 100 games. You don't need the old bulls anymore. Next tier, Bathwater.
Okay.
Adelaide, Hawthorn, Brisbane. Talk about drinking your own bathwater over the preseason. Adelaide. We were the highest scoring team last year. We were a bad umpire's call from winning the flag. Now we've kicked 23 goals for the season, including 4 goals on the weekend. 4 against Freo. Hawthorn, they know we're coming. Everyone knew we were better than our 7-win record last year. Sicily All-Australian, Mitch Lewis Coleman. Let's draft a small fucking forward with pick 5 in the draft. We've got a genius at head coach. Bathwater. And the Lions, the old saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless you're whatever the fuck Zane Dorco did and Cam Rayner. Bathwater.
Zane Dorco's
Great
funny.
tier.
Next tier, winning cures everything. Collingwood, the Bombers, and the Tigers all copped it during the week. Collingwood for their zip and 3 start, and Essendon for their Essendon edge, and 2 metre Peter obliterating Harry Cunningham. And the Tigers for being zip and 3 as well. New coach, hadn't had a win. But when you win on the weekend like they all 3 of them did, it just cures everything for the week, and you feel like all is fine again.
I love it.
Next here, back off a bye. Both teams coming off a bye this week. Gold Coast and the Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
Whereas Gold Coast had the traditional week off bye, the Dogs played West Coast.
Correct.
So,
Well
and
done.
now have big games at Gather Round this weekend. Gold Coast played GWS.
Big game.
And the Dogs play Geelong. So we'll see really how good these 2 teams are. And 3-1 sounds a lot better than 2-2. So
Yes, it
they'll
does.
be looking to
Yeah,
go
it's a great shout.
3-1. Next here, headline readers. Swans, Port Adelaide, St Kilda. Couple of teams a little too happy with themselves, reading their own headlines, if you will. Smart footy people said you can book the Swans in for prelim final weekend, and they have 3 of the top 6 players in the AFL, and then they fell flat in their face on the G against the Tigers. Back to hard work for the Bloods. I heard Saints supporters saying Nasiah, Wilkie, King and Sinclair are all Australian locks. The Saints are a top 4 lock. Ross the boss. And then they absolutely dogged it against the Bombers. And then Port Adelaide started the season with 2 cupcakes, West Coast and Richmond. They were happy with themselves over in Adelaide. We've got 2 best midfielders in the comp in Butters and Rosie. We've got 2 best goal-kicking half-backs in the league, Farrell and Houston. How good are we? And then the big bad wolf comes to town and teaches you a lesson in winning, and back to reality for Port Adelaide. Next year.
Here we go.
Sorry, phone's ringing. Hello. September's calling. Melbourne, Freo and Carlton. All 3 of these teams are on 3-game win streaks. They're as hot as Sydney Sweeney. They've had individual improvements from all their players and then team improvement and look better than last year.
Yep.
Perfect start, and September is calling for Melbourne, Fremantle, Carlton. Will they pick up the phone and carry on with it?
Hope so.
Next year, the big bad wolf, Geelong. I can't be the only one terrified of Geelong when they're flying again.
Nope.
Yep.
They've tortured the league for 10 years. I have PTSD from 2022 Grand Final like a war vet from Vietnam.
Oh, no.
They're old, they're experienced, they have absolute guns all over the field, and they know how to win. It shits me they're still this good, but they are. I'm not surprised about it. They are the big bad wolf.
I like it.
And the final team, top of the tiers, the bye's done them wonders.
Okay.
I reckon the bye has made GWS even better. They were already the best team in the comp, and then there wasn't one performance this weekend where you go, yep, that's GWS's main rival. Maybe Carlton against North Melbourne, but that was always going to happen.
Yeah,
Maybe Melbourne on the road was a good one, but GWS have freshened up the bodies. I hope Toby's got some extra sleep this week.
Oh,
for sure.
And a haircut.
And the big dogs are coming to Adelaide to keep their hot start rolling. And that is the Gather Round edition of the Tiers.
That's a round of applause if you're only listening. That is unbelievable, Jeff. That's good
If you
insight.
find a better footy segment than that this week in the media, I would send it to me, please.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
That's the Tiers.
I loved I thought the bath order, the Swans were going to go in the bath order, but the headline readers is good.
That's good. Yeah, not so much
panic for the Swans,
Yeah.
but I love that. Well done, Jeff.
Well done.
Credit to you.
All right, boys, let's get into it. So the 100K starts from Saturday morning. We will be fishing out to this game, West Coast and Sydney at Mount Barker. Tell you what, boys, this is where the multi starts. If we can keep this thing alive till late Sunday afternoon and even more and finally cash, we want to maybe start a little bit thin. Jev, kick us off.
So we just want to get through this game alive. No more getting it out, like not making it out of Saturday night to Sunday. We want to get through this game alive. Couple of ticks, get through. We've got 2 legs in this game.
Great.
Swans win.
Yep.
Lizard Blakey 15.
Beautiful.
Don't worry about the odds.
Nope.
Let's just get this show on the road.
Yep.
Start with 2 green ticks and head over to Adelaide Oval.
We'll be there, and I could not love that anymore.
Well done. All right, so that's 2 ticks, and then we move on to the next
Look at
game.
you posture.
Yeah, it's very nice. All right, so this will be the start of the double header. So 4:20, which is almost shaping up to be game of the round. We've got 2 unbelievable back-to-back games. So this is at 4:20 at Adelaide Oval. Fremantle versus Carlton. Quick one here. Carlton have never, ever won at Adelaide Oval. It's our absolute done. We've never won.
That's so wow.
We've never won. So last year, I loaded up against Carlton against Adelaide because I'm like, hey, if you're not hot or you do, and we got absolutely pantsed.
Yep.
So
They started that hot.
boys, surely we're due. Jev, any legs in this one?
This is a big game. Freo undefeated, Carlton undefeated. I have no legs because I just want to watch you two. I want to be sitting on that hill, drinking piss, watching you two. So no legs for me in the 100K. Lou.
Yeah, so I got to this league task just by being purely humbled. This man got me very pissed last week. And his name is Harry Mackay. He's in unbelievable form. He's coming second. I don't know if you know this, Jeff. He's coming second in the coaches' votes, only to Isaac Heaney.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean, that is rare air. I know we're only 3-4 games in, but that is rare air. So last week he had 5. Obviously, we saw that. And
It's more than Adelaide kicked.
Correct.
It's 100% is.
So I think that's all I need. So 2 goals, $1.36. We got the handshake win, Das. You had Kerno and Zerha. I had Mackay and Larky.
What did you drink? 9 beers.
I think 8 beers. I think
5 and 4?
Yeah, 5 and 3. Yeah, that's enough. But yeah, we got the tick. We'll have a handshake bet on this game, I reckon. Maybe the one after. But $1.36 just for 2. Harry Mackay, he's in all Australian form. And maybe knocking on the Pyramid's door.
100%.
Has to be.
Tune in.
Has to be. I'll be taking his other counterpart, boys. Charlie Chuck Kerno for 2 snags. Is it $1.36? $1.35, only a cent shorter than what Harry actually is. The big fella's kicked 10 goals in his last 3 games. He's still leading the Coleman, and he's kicked 9 goals in his last 3 games against the Dockers.
Oh, yep.
So this screams. I was hard against Free at the start of the year. I said they didn't have a back line. Their forwards were shit. Their midfield was being carried by only about 2 or 3 blokes. So if Fremantle win this game, something's going to go, I'm going to do something stupid. So let's go Carlton, let's go Charlie, let's go Harry. Those are the first 4 legs for the multi. Jev, what do you have for me? Bulldogs, Cats, 8-10 start, Adelaide Oval.
Jeremy Cameron, 2 goals
Yes.
at $1.43.
Yep.
$1.43 is absolutely money. He started the season with 2, 2, and 2.
Easy.
His last 4 against the Dogs, 2, 2, 6, and 2.
Yep.
Wow.
He's a fucking jet, and he'll 100% kick 2 on Liam Jones. He's on fire. He's fit. He just turned 31 or something. It was his birthday yesterday, so
Fit, flirty, and 30.
Yeah, love it.
31. Yeah, he loves Adelaide Oval.
Well done. You know who I'm betting on? Tommy Stewart. So I had him for 25, last night? We filmed this on Tuesday and had the 24. So I think if this was a Sunday leg, I would have gone back to 25. But being Saturday, you got to be smart. $1.78 I'm getting for 20. I mean, as I said, I reckon he would have had the 25, but due to the Lightning, I mean, Tommy Hawkins started betting on Dapto. He wasn't happy with the Lightning.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
I thought that was fair enough. So he's out at 16 of the last 20, 100% on his last 5, thanks to Statmate, of course.
Beautiful.
He's all 100K. He's an all 100K athlete.
He's
This bloke.
such a gun.
And he's a star, and we bet on that for $1.70.
Fantastic leg. I'll be taking Bont for 25 at $1.36.
Okay.
Huge game against the Cats. He was well rested last week.
Yeah, he's
He
buying
versed
last
the
week.
Witched Hat, so he just parked his bus forward. Only had the 16 touches, but 3 goals, boys. And I just think he's ready to absolutely unload against the Cats. He had 31 last year in that must-win game in round 24 down at GMHBA, but they needed other teams to lose. So they obviously did make finals, but he had 31 over there. So you know he can go head-to-head with their midfield. 31 at $1.36.
thrive.
I'm really looking forward for Bond to absolutely unleash the shackles on this one. Jeff, do you have any more legs?
No more legs for me.
Nah,
I've actually got one more. I got Tom Hawkins for 2 at $1.44. This bloke is bigger than Tony Jones's mouth guard. I'll tell you what, this bloke is massive. He's kicked 8 goals in the last 2 games, and his last 3 games against the Dogs, he's kicked 2-2-2. So I just don't know who they're going to use to defend.
Nah, he's a fucking brick shit house.
Jones is going to be standing there looking between him and Cameron, and it's just going to be an absolute debacle.
What did you say last week? He makes a cubicle look like a skin suit.
Yeah, so something like that.
It's brilliant.
It's good.
Good leg.
So no more legs?
No more legs.
All right, boys. Before we head into Giants Suns, we've got the stock market.
Yeah, ring the bell,
Ding,
ring the
ding,
bell.
ding,
Thank
ding,
God.
ding.
All right, so here we go. Bear with me. So we've screenshotted all the markets before the season. I'm going to go through all the biggest movers and
Please.
potentially some people who to buy. So biggest movers, obviously we've got Tom Green. Jev's ticket is up there. Started at 21, went into 15. He's now into $7. So he's your clear-cut favourite. Now, as I mentioned a few times, Isaac Heaney, he was at 251 to 1 before the season. He's now into 9 and he's clear second. That is for a reason. He's number 2 in disposals, number 1 in score involvements, the number 1 fantasy player, and number 3 in contested possessions.
Number 1 in coaches' votes.
So that is another really good one to show how well
fire.
he's going.
Love it.
So still, if you like him, $9 is still a really good price.
Great price. Big final.
Caleb Sarong and the Dockers are 3-0. He started at $26 and now into 10. Sarong has polled 24 votes last year, which was really big. But you know what I want to look at? You could argue that him and Butters, who I'll go over, are the most informed players in the competition. So his last 9 games, he's polled Brownlow votes.
Yeah, he's on
He
fire.
polled the last 6 games of the year. He started off with 3 votes against the Lions, probably 2 or 3 against North, and probably gets 1 or 2 again against Adelaide. So that's 9 games in a row that he's polled votes.
He's on fire.
So when someone's in form, look at that. So that's still 10 to 1. The other one, Zach Butters, he started at 18. He's only coming to 15, which is only $3 in. But a lot like Sarong, he's still one of the most informed players in the competition. He finished the game, last year with 3 votes, 1 vote, 3 votes, 3 votes. You could argue he gets 3 votes against West Coast. He definitely gets 3 against Richmond and potentially might squeeze in with 1 on the weekend. I doubt it. But he had 7 3-vote games last year.
Yeah.
So if he plays well, he's going to get votes. So he's still at $15.
That's buy.
Yeah, love the buy.
Patrick Cripps, $21, now into 18. He finished last year with 22 votes. And I know a lot of people don't like the look of just the way that he plays, but he gets votes.
Vote getter.
Yep.
5 3-vote games last year. He probably almost gets close to votes this year against the Lions. 31 against the Tigers. He definitely gets votes. And he could easily get some on the weekend with 28 and 1. So don't be surprised if he polls early in those games. his
Look
price
out.
is going to come in really, really short. The Coleman, the big move is Harry Mackay went from 34 into third favourite at $8.
Nice.
Get any of these guys.
awesome.
Then we got Jesse Hogan that started at 21, now into 7, and Charlie's
10
That's the
last
bet,
time.
yeah.
Charlie's still favourite at 6. I reckon it's out of those 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
So toss up between those guys. Now, time to buy. I've got 2. Bontempelli started at second favourite at $9. He's now at $12.
Yep.
Buy.
25-1 against Melbourne. Maybe not get votes. 32-2 against the Suns. And
Votes.
do not be surprised if he polls 1 vote for 16-3.
Yep, love it.
Even though it's short stats, watching him play, some of the stuff that he did, I won't be surprised. Everyone got to look at the ice cream. If
Did
they're
you
just
get any
like,
coaches' votes today? Did you see?
I haven't seen the coaches' votes, but huge game against the Cats this week. If he gets close to a best on, that $12 is gone. That's going to come straight back in.
Single figures, yeah.
And this one, I reckon, is the best time to buy. Geelong are at $13 to win the flag. They're currently 8th behind Collingwood, Brisbane and Port Adelaide. Who do you think is in the best form out of those teams?
Port Adelaide.
Geelong.
Geelong.
They're currently 8th, which I couldn't believe. Their next 3 weeks, boys, they've got the Dogs, North, then Brisbane. If they can finish those 3 and go 6-0, they will then be first or second on the ladder, and I guarantee they're going to be first or second favourite to win the premiership
Yeah,
at $5 to $6.
buy.
So
I
agree.
13-1 for Geelong, and that is the stock market.
So if we would have a multi
done,
right
Darce.
now, we'd be going Geelong Premiership, Jesse Hogan Coleman into Brownlow, Bontempelli Brownlow.
yeah,
That's
Bontempelli
the
at
best
$12.
futures.
That's your future multi. Have a couple of bucks on it and then cash out.
So that's where the market is moving. It definitely doesn't move as much after round 1 or 2, and it's only obviously game to game. But those are the markets, boys, and that's what I've had a look at.
I say this every chance I get because I just fucking love it. And some people are probably sick of us talking about it, but there's some new listeners every week, Das. The David King rule. The 3 bets. I was looking at that before. Geelong at $13. If you're going to have $30 on them, have it 3 times because that will come in. If they, as you said, if they go 6-0, what are they going to? So GWS now are favoured at 5. The Swans at 6. There's no doubt if Geelong is 6-0, what they're coming to 8.
Yeah.
So there's your cash out.
Well,
Cheers.
the biggest thing is if they go 6-0, we know how favourable the back end of the year is. They don't leave Victoria the last
that's right.
11 weeks.
Yep.
So it's either at home or at the MCG. So
That's a get-on.
that $13, and I think that they're travelling better than Collingwood, Brisbane and Port Adelaide at the moment. So I looked at that and I could not believe it.
I've just put it in. Bont Brownlow, Jesse Hogan Coleman, Geelong Premiership, 1,000 to 1 Das.
Even if you want, you make
We're
just...
going to have $2
Even
3
just-
times on this right now.
Even if you want, you could just have Geelong to make like the top 4 or something.
Top four, and top 2.
You're perfect. So that's the stock market, boys.
that's a great
Those are the
segment,
best
Darth.
market
Well
movers.
done.
All right, let's get into the next game. We
Please.
got the Suns and the Giants at Mount Barker. Jev, we will be there.
We will
Talk to
fucking
me.
be there. Noah Anderson, 25 touches at $1.47. I just love the value of $1.47 for a pyramid player off a buy. He started his season with 25, 35, and 25. That last one was a controversial 25.
We got a green tick.
We got a green tick. Last year against GWS, he had 26 disposals in round 19. And you wouldn't believe it, but Mount Barker Oval is actually named after Noah's grandfather.
Really?
Barker Anderson. Who kicked over 1,000 goals for the Mount Barker Roos. And every Easter as a kid, Noah would go watch his grandfather play in the Masters League on their special Good Friday game. So Noah Anderson, 25 touches at $1.25 Lou.
Oh, fuck.
Barker Anderson.
It is so funny because you would think we've chatted about this before, but it brings me to a point that I couldn't wait to speak about. And that was Malcolm Rojas Sr., his experience at Mount Barker.
Get out of
He
here.
must have played in the supers with him or something, Jeb, but we know how electric Rojas Senior was at Mount Barker. So I'm so excited to be. I spoke about him 2 weeks ago. He got rubbed out. I think the tribunal must have contested, and good for him. And so you would, because listen to the form 3-1-3-3-2. I would have contested as well. You just want to try and get this out in the park. $1.29 just for one. He kicked a snag against Freo last year at Gather Round. So the form's there.
100%.
That's all I need to know.
All I want is one. $1.29. Thank you, Rojas.
Beautiful. My first one for this one, boys. Matt Rao for 20 touches at $1.20. This man is harder than a physics exam. I'll tell you what. Harder than a 16-year-old with a Brazos subscription. This bloke hasn't gone under 20 his last 6 games. That's all we need to know. This man is a tough nut. He'll be in there. He'll be under. We love him. Matty Rao for the over at 20 touches at $1.20. Jev.
Brent Daniels, anytime goal scorer at $1.33. Binger. David King's doppelganger, 100K's favourite player. We absolutely love this bloke and can't wait to watch him play in the flesh. I love $1.33 for just one. He just needs to kick one. And he will. He's kicked 6 goals in 3 games this season. He kicked 2 on the Suns round 19 last year. And he's just such a good small forward that I reckon he'll just sneak a snag in.
Yep, Bing Moses.
Bing, whatever you want to call him, Luke. Bing Moses.
Give me Cogs, Star. Stephen, can you?
I like it.
I've bet on this man probably, 3 times already in a 4-week season. But there's going back to the well, and then there's this. There really is. I told you a couple of weeks ago, Das, when I was colder than your mother's undies, that you just bet on blokes that get to contests. That's all you do. Just bet on blokes that get to contests, and eventually they'll get their touches. Look at what's the Zach Butters?
Yeah.
Guess gets the contest. Got his touches on Saturday night. 90% his last 10, 100% his last 5. Das, if I gave you 29% bank interest, you would give me all your money, wouldn't you? Yeah. That's what I'm doing. 25 plus $1.29. Thank you, Sportsbet.
Let's go.
Beautiful. I've got to take my man. Don't know. Lockie Whitfield for 25 touches at $1.86. This bloke hurts you more than a belt from your stepdad. I'll tell you what. This man outside, he's run. He's second to none, this bloke. This year he hasn't gone under 33, 29, 25. He hurts you, Jeff. He hurts you. So Whitfield's in the multi.
Well done.
Give me Tom Green, 30 touches at $1.52. The motherfucking Brownlow medalist, top of the pyramid, off a spell, in career best form. He will have another 30 at Mount Barker Oval this weekend. 34, 37 and 30 to start the year. He's on about 6.5 Brownlow votes, maybe more, and he'll be looking to add to it. He's the best player in the comp. Tom Green, 30 touches. $1.52 is golden, Lou.
Can't wait to watch him in the flesh.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how big he is.
Big fine. I can't wait to see how big you are watching. That's all, Das.
That's it. Hey, got to take Cadman in here, boys. For $1 at $1.26. This guy's growing quicker than your nutsack after a cold plunge. Like right before your eyes. It is just growing and growing. Cadman in confidence. 2 goals, 3 goals his last 3 games this year. Do you have another leg, Jev?
No more legs.
Oh, well, I've got to take Hogan, Jev. Yeah. Tell you what, as I mentioned before, second favourite for the Coleman. 2 goals at $1.38, which is a premium price.
Stupid.
I don't know how this isn't under $1.20. 4 goals, 6 goals, 2 goals his last 3 games. So Hogan, Cadman in. I reckon that... I really like this game for touches and goals. I think it could be a really good high-scoring game. The weather's meant to be incredible in Adelaide over the weekend.
The ball fizzes around at Mount Barker.
Does it what? Next game, boys. Richmond and Saints. This is at Norwood. Jev.
Give me Shy Bolton for 20 touches at $1.35. Shy's in some good form.
Yep.
He's going to need to stay in good form with all Richmond's injuries. He's a playmaker. Just get the ball in his hands and good things happen, basically. Yep. 25 last week, 22 the week before. He's probably their best player now that Lynch is gone. Dusty didn't play on the weekend.
Sure.
You know, I think him or Taranto. I think he's their best player. So Shy Bolton 20 at $1.35. I love the value of $1.35 when you just got to get in his hands.
Totally.
Lou.
Love him for a snag as well. I don't know if that's in the multi.
It's not, but I did too.
Oh, Jesus. Das, I can't even believe that I'm betting on this. But Jeff and I were there. Nick Vlosten for 20 at $1.61.
Oh, he had a good game, didn't he?
Awesome league. If you asked me whether I would bet on this at the start of the year, I'd say you're crazy. But I just love it. He'll pick the eyes out of the Saints, old Stone Cold Steve Loston. $1.61 on Sunday. You scrum diddly. You have to take it. It's risky, but it's a Sunday league.
No, good league.
That's good. Max King for 2 goals at $1.38. When he finishes the game, has a shower, gets home, empties his pockets, it's his car keys, his wallet, his phone. It's the Tigers' defense. That's what he's putting out. They're all going to be in his pocket this game. His last 4 games against the Tigers, he's kicked a whopping 14 goals.
He loves playing the Tigers.
Loves the Tigers. I'm licking my lips at this, boys. 2 goals at $1.38. Jeff, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I do. Nasai Wanganeen Malira for 20 at $1.11. Fuck, he only just scraped into 20 last week, and they lost.
Yep.
Saints, he's your best ball user. He's your best player. Get the ball in his hands.
He was on the bench, though, for about...
He was giving us the shits. He'll have 20 this week, and the Saints will bounce back to their winning ways, and he'll be through this bloke. He'll probably go back to 30, but we're just taking him for 20. $1.11, Lou.
Yep. Staples in your lounge room, Das. So you got your couch, your TV, and your mantelpiece. Old Ryan Mansell anytime. $1.44. He just bobs up, this bloke. He just takes his opportunity. I watched him on Sunday. We were there. He's busier than grilled on a Monday, this bloke. It's unbelievable. The 2-for-1 Mad Monday. They do a great job down the grill. But as I said, I watched him closely. I said about Marby or Joel. I said you got to just bet on athleticism, and then that cost me. But then the week after, he kicks 3.
Yeah.
Why? Athleticism. I reckon you also have to bet on footy nouse. This guy he's a shorter specimen. He moves well across the bench, but he knows footy. So I reckon you bet on Nouse. $1.44 Sunday leg. Got to have it on a Saturday though.
Beautiful. Do you have any more legs?
No more legs.
Do you have any more?
No.
Tell you what, boys. Nick Martin on the weekend against the Saints. He had 44 touches, Lou. He was paying $19 for 40 touches. A whopping $19, which leads us in the most lucrative segment in all of sports. Gold Rush.
Thank you very much, Das. The bets we weren't on but wish we were, Gold Rush, an unbelievable segment. And thank you to Statmate for this segment, sponsored by, now that we can give away the 55%. Righto, starts with the Salvo Radicalea. $6 just for 15. 6 for 15 is an unbelievable.
Is that 15 touches or 15 cramps before half time?
Yeah, well done. 15 quad grams. 20 disposals. Cade the Chin Chandler. $14. I couldn't believe that. Mark Keane. Who is Mark Keane? He had 26 disposals. $10.50. I've never heard of him. Sonny Walters had 21, $9. So good little game. Righto, on to the 25 disposals. Mark Keane. He had 26 bucks. Matty Roberts had 27 at 8. Nick Floston in the multi, 29 at $8. Trent Rivers for $6.50 for 25 touches. And Dan Rioli, I had him for 15 touches. He had it in about 3 minutes before I finished my pie. 30 touches. Dane Zorko, $30, $13. Dyson Heppel had 30 at $12. Jakey Lloyd back to some good form. The boy, 32 at 10. Riley Bonner had 32 at 10. And Hayden Young, $7 on Sportsbet. On to 35s. We've got Timmy Taranto. He had 10.50. That was a great
Well done, Timmy. Had a
Lockie Neal, 35 at 8.50. Jimmy Warple had 36 at 8.50.
Yeah,
Nick Martin,
well.
we spoke about him, 35 was 8.50, which I thought was short, but you get your value later on. And then Adam Trelaw, 35, just the $5. Nick Martin, the 40 disposal, the only 40 disposal. We didn't have one last week.
Huge.
$29 you could have got on PointsBet. They paid out the most. On to the goals very quickly. Eddie Langdon just for one at $5.40.
Wow.
Into the 3 goals. Didn't have any really 2 goal scorers, but 3 goals. Paulie Curtis, your boy does. $14. Marby Joel. Jolie boy, the athleticism machine had $11 on PointsBet. PointsBet, a lot of PointsBet here. So
they give good
we'll
odds.
speak to them. Bobby Hill for 3 at $10. Ben Brown for 3 at $7.75. And Jimmy Elliott for 4 at $6.50. On to our final segment, the 4 goal scorers. Jimmy Elliott back to form, $15 you could have got. Oliver Henry paid $13 for 4. Tommy Hawkins for 4 was $4.60. That's a great bet. We probably should have thought about that in his $3.50. And then finally, Harry Mackay, $7.75 for 5. That's probably a little bit short, but 5 on Good Friday.
That's going to come in now.
Yeah, and that's a bet that we will have in the future. But those were the bets we didn't have, but we wish we did.
Fantastic segment.
Gold Rush. What about Mark Keane?
Yeah. You know what's a tough word to say? Lucrative.
We're driving to Adelaide this week.
Yeah.
If you hit Mark Keane and he went through your windshield, would you know who he was?
If I hit Mark Keane, my multi'd be buggered. That's what would happen.
And your radiator.
Well done, boys. All right, we're getting to the...
He's a wombat.
A wombat.
If we hit one on the way,
We have to bet on
Just
him.
hit Mark
Mark the wombat.
you can find him under your tyre.
He's built like a swap and go.
What?
The gas cylinders.
I love it when it's one too far. All right,
Not
boys.
enough.
Collingwood, Hawthorn, Adelaide Oval.
Yep.
No Mitch Lewis now. No more Wiz Jev. He can sit on the sidelines. There's about 9 people from their startings at the moment out from the potential start of the year. The Hawks could be bleeding in this game. Pies had this time slot last year against the Saints. It was
That's
a cracker.
right. It was a
Last
cracker,
game of the round. Jev, what do you have for us in this contest?
Nick Dacos, 25 at $1.15. Don't care what the odds are.
Yep.
The kid gets it. 25 is shelling peas for the Wiz.
Yep.
10-day break. Looked back to his best off the half back line against the Lions. I like him to get 25.
Yep.
Loop.
Scotty Pendlebury. Jev, I know you took this bloke out the back after round 1 and
After the Swans beat.
yeah, you sort of didn't go the whole hog, but you thought about it. But I think Dars, as you said, Jev, off a 10-day break. They played on Thursday night. It's now Monday. This is the last game of Gather Round. His last 5 weeks at 21, 20, 26, 18. So the 1 week he got. So he's 4 out of the last 5.
He's beyond the shit.
Yeah, that's right. $1.43 though. He's had his last 4 against the Hawks. This is a miracle price, and we have to take it. The old boy, Pendles.
Well done. Boys, I've got to take Bobby Hill.
Yeah,
on the hill. $2.15 we're getting for 2 snags. It says it should be $1.25. He kicked 3 goals in a minute against the Lions, and I cashed in.
did.
I had him for 3 goals. You mentioned $11, and I also had him for 4 goals at 26. I thought that was absolutely... I was just going to cash in the next 3 quarters, but it didn't. So Bobby Hill for 2 on the hill, $2.15, boys. That is an absolute multiplier for your multi. Jeff, what else you got?
Jai Newcomb, 20 at $1.12. Jeez, I spat everywhere.
That's all right.
He finally got his season started against the Cats on the weekend with 23 touches, 11 contested possessions, and 7 clearances. It's good that he finally gets rolling. I like him for 20 because I like mids against the Pies. I reckon... They go head-to-head with mids. They don't tag or anything. So give me Jai Newcomb for 20. I know it's short, but it should hit. Lou.
Yeah, I got one more leg, but I just quickly want to say, I reckon we probably should have had Pies head-to-head. $1.26. Is that not better the round?
It's especially with our injured Hawthorn.
Yeah, that's all right.
I think we might have missed a trick there, but that's all right. Potentially wingman of the year, Josh Dacos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I reckon we'll be awarding that at the end of the year at the annual Brownlow Awards. But $1.26 you can get just for 20 disposals. Now, I'm sort of more backing his form at Albert Park, more so than AFL. I don't know if you saw him at the F1 Das, but he was absolutely everywhere. And the glamour on his arm, of course, helps a little bit. But unbelievable by foot, this bloke. I think he's a bit underrated. But as I said...
Underrated?
Yeah, I reckon by
You're backing his form at the F1.
he was everywhere. Go have a look
it.
for yourself. But 20 against the Lions last week. So just the 20, but still hit. That's a tick. Exactly. And
Fantastic.
I reckon, 29 the week before against the Saints. Rev your engines here, Dobe.
Boys, I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Warple has been playing some fantastic football this year. $1.38 for 25. Got to juice up the multi a little bit. And this is one of the last, well, this is the last game of the round. Hasn't gone under 25 this year. In the middle, he's been playing the whole time. We mentioned last year, even though Hawthorn are losing, the mids love to get the ball in their hands when they can. 28, 27, and 36 on the weekend. I still think no matter how the rest of the Hawks are doing forward and back, he's still going to get to contests, as we did mention. As long as you're in those stoppages, you're still going to get your chance to go win the footy. So 25 touches. Absolutely love this one at $1.38, boys.
Love that. Boys, this is the leg of the 100K.
Yeah,
the leg.
Thank you.
Jack Ginnivan, 2 goals at $2.55.
I love it.
Boys, this week is the ultimate test of a Collingwood supporter's IQ.
Okay.
Because if they boo when Jack Ginnivan gets a head-high free kick, they are as dumb as they look.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember how much they whinged all last year when he wouldn't get the thing?
True.
Now they still love him, but he's playing for another team.
Yep.
So when he lifts the arm and gets a head-high free kick,
They should clap.
They should clap.
Yeah,
If they
great.
fucking boo, I will be filthy. I absolutely love this league. Firstly, he's
love him.
100% kicking a goal against his former team. He want to show the ex-girlfriend he's still thriving and doesn't miss her at all. And then secondly... I'm talking about Collingwood, of course. Secondly, he's 100% getting one of those head-high free kicks this week after he got publicly beheaded on the G against the Cats. And the umpires basically came out and said there was a couple there we should have paid. So he'll kick $2.55 is value, like absolute value in the 100K. So
really
let's
is.
go.
I reckon McQuarrie's going to try and take his head off, and he just leans into it.
I'm interested to see if he goes and puts a bit of physical pressure on Nick Dacos or something. Like, I want to know what he's going to be like.
Hey, if you watch him on the weekend, I think he's been so good. But,
was so impressive.
Every time the ball went over into space, his head like sprinting.
Yes.
Like trying, like
He's working so
he looks
hard.
good. I thought he looked good against the Bombers as well.
He's a good
I
footballer.
really like him.
He
really
gets
like
his
him.
head ripped off and he still puts his head over the ball.
Yeah.
He does play for the free kick, but he always puts his head over and picks it up off the ground. So I love it.
He doesn't shirk it, does
I
he?
reckon $2.55 for 2 is fucking value. Especially last game Sunday. Lou, any more legs?
No for me. I just love that that's in the multi.
Yeah, I don't have any more. Jeff, you have one more?
No, that's it.
Oh, here we go, boys. This is the multi now. We've done the multi-cross multiplier again. So
we really?
not the 25 legs. We've got 29 legs in this, and it's green legs kicking us off in the first game. Here we go, boys. $12.20 on this thing to pay $133.37. Swans to win. Blakey for 15.
Let's go.
Mackay and Charlie both for 2. Stewart for 20. Bond for 25. Cameron and Hawkins both for 2.
That should be a live Saturday night.
100%. Tom Green for 30.
Yes.
Rao for 20. Whitfield for 25. Cogs 25. Anderson 25. Rojas for 1. Cadman 1. Binger 1. And Jesse Hogan for 2.
Yes.
That's all good legs. Max King for 2. Bolton 20. Nasai Wanganeen Malira. Fuck, it's a tough name to say. 20 touches. Mansell and Manselpiece. And Nick Vlosten.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin for 20 touches. Bobby Hill on the hill for 2. Guinea 2. Dacos 25. Nick, that is. Warple for 25. Scott Pendlebury out the back for 20. Josh Dacos at the F1s for 20. And John Newcomb also for 20 touches.
Come on.
Hey, that is a good multi, boys. 29 legs on that. Absolutely love it.
If you are on our Discord, Patreon, the link's in the bio. We will send that out, and you just click it, go straight to your bet
Very
slip,
easy.
and you just put your $10.
But some of the same game multis, like in that, as I went past, like the Saints one, the 5-legger, that pays
that's a-
$4.67. It's a nice little
bet.
one. We went big on the Gold Coast GWS. That's $12.48.
It's
but
all in good form.
Yeah,
like we
correct.
bet on form.
even
man.
$3.73. So this is cats and dogs. Stewart 20, Bont 25, Cameron and Hawkins for 2.
Like, they're all guns.
So I like them.
I mean, no one analyzes the 100K multi more than me, as we know.
Yeah.
So I got a journal multi for you.
Yeah.
Love on the show. We need a winner.
Here we go.
We really do. I've gone the 2 talls for the Cats. Hawkins, Cameron.
Two each.
I reckon underrated. I reckon the Cats get the better of the dogs.
I do
More
too.
often than not.
100% they do.
So I've gone with that. I've gone Sydney head to head. So I've taken the tick. I just think they win.
$1.04.
They win.
I like
And
it.
let's get the journal multi away. Shea Bolton for 20.
Yeah.
He's a star. He really
star.
is.
How about last week?
I think $1.35. Collingwood head to head.
Yep.
That was sort of me. I think that's the bet of the week.
Yep.
And you've sold me on Guinea.
Yep.
So for those 5 legs, sorry I didn't say it earlier because people would have been
The journal multi.
angry if I didn't. $10.50. You can get.
Oh,
Well
come
done.
on.
Yeah, so it's a good multi. You talk about analysing and seeing the future.
Yeah, perfect.
We did it. We did it last week. I reckon we went 2 from 4, let's say, but all funny.
I think I had a shocker.
Did ya?
Das did well.
Oh, I think I went
Yeah.
2 from 2.
Got a segment predicting the future. It's called Tomorrow's Headlines Today.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Boys, I want you to tell me what the headline will be following the event. So, Dobe, you're up first. Brisbane North. It's on Friday. On Saturday morning, what will the headline be?
Well, just before a bit of context before I
Please.
get into this, everyone knows Aiden Corr's nickname is the Stink.
Yeah.
Because he's had 13 goals kicked on him in the last 3 weeks. So tomorrow's headline today's for this game will be 3 in the pink, 5 on the stink as Hip Jesus and Danaher go kangarooing.
That's good.
Oh, that
Front page of the Adelaide.
That makes the paper. Jev, Swans West Coast. We will be there. It's on Saturday. What will the papers be saying on Sunday morning?
So, you know the movie Don't Worry, Darling with Harry Styles?
Yep.
The headline will be, Start Worrying Darling. Jack Darling left at Mount Barker Oval as team bus leaves without him as he has to hitchhike home back to WA.
Oh.
He is on behind the shed watch, Jack Darling.
Yeah, I like
he
it.
stinks.
I like it. Your headlines are like the age. 'Cause you need to be,
A big favour.
I love it. Cats, Dogs, Dust. We will be there. It'll be Saturday night. On Sunday morning, what's the Herald going to say to us?
Pussy, the best show in town, from Geelong to the Crazy Horse, the best quinella in the city of churches on a Saturday night.
Another age one for sure, but I love it. Jev, bring us home. Collingwood Hawthorn. It's the last game of Gather Round before we head over to Jet. What will it say on the back page of Monday morning?
Baby, come Jack. Collingwood want Jack back as he kicks 4
like
against his old flame and finally gets a free kick from the umpires. Jack Ginnivan, that
Well
is.
done. That's
will
very
kick
good.
4 on the Pies.
That
Well
is tomorrow's headlines today. So look out for the papers. Big papers, but
You see them everywhere.
definitely.
Hey, boys. So we've gone through the multi. We've gone through the segments. We've gone through Gold Rush. For those that are still listening, Jev, I think we've got something.
We have to.
It's the reverse Geronimo.
So say.
Geronimo, say Geronimo, say. So for anyone that doesn't know what it is, Jev, tell them what the Geronimo is.
Well,
Tell them about last week.
so we always build the multi short and it gets bigger and bigger as Sunday goes on because we want to be a live Sunday.
Yep.
We want to get through Saturday. And it's like we just have to do it that way because as soon as it loses Saturday, it's fucking it's tears.
not fun.
You want to get to Sunday,
Yep.
so we always do it that way. But the first game of the week this week is West Coast Sydney. So last week we did one. Last week it was Carlton North, and we started with Kerno 5, Mackay 4 on Good Friday to get us rolling. Kerno kicks 4, does his ankle with about 10 minutes to go in the last
Yeah,
quarter.
would've
then
kicked one.
Sits on the bench.
Sure.
Then it doesn't end up winning. We had Jack Ings for 2 that one, but we had Bomb for 30 in there. It never ended up winning. We had Butters for 30. He had 25. But we're starting big on this. Last year, the Swans beat the Eagles by 171 points, Lou. Heaney kicked 5 goals, 4 and had 22 touches.
That's right.
Amadi kicked 4. Logan McDonald kicked 4.
Wow.
McLean kicked 3.
Wow.
Goulden kicked 3 and had 32.
Wow.
Chad kicked 2 goals, 2 and had 33. And Nick Blakey had 23.
Felt like
All right.
Owen Wilson then. Wow.
So, we're starting thick on the Swans.
Like a Jonathan Brown hair.
Like your diet.
You just tell me the leg that's no good.
Righto.
This is our second 100K of the show.
Here we go. Roll through it,
Just
Jimmy.
for the people still listening, this will get posted on my Sportsbet feed at Jevy100K on Sportsbet.
They can just copy this.
You can just copy it.
Geronimo
Last week we had
is the
100 people copy bet.
Did you actually?
100 people copied bet it. So we're sorry it lost. Only have a $5 if it, like gamble responsibly.
Have
of course.
one.
Have
This is
one
just
on
a bit
it.
of fun.
10,001. So Logan McDonald 3.
Yep.
Amadi 2. Papley 2.
Yeah.
Heaney 2.
Oh, fuck.
Goulden 25, Warner 25, Heaney 20, Blakey 20.
You weren't lying when you said thick at the start. Yeah, no, I love it.
But look at the form last year. We've been by 170 points. They were honestly walking into goals.
What does that same gamer pay?
It's
like Mount Buller.
gets us going. No, I
The
reckon,
base.
I reckon it's fucking cash. 18 to 1. So 18 to 1.
Perfect.
Logan 3, Amadi 2, Papley 2,
Yep.
Heaney 2.
If that's just on its own, it hits.
Yes.
Next
Goulden
game.
25, Chad 25, Heaney 20, Blakey 20. Next game, Das. Freo Carlton.
Oh, I thought you were just going to read the whole thing out. Yeah, here we go. So Carlton and Fremantle. Here we go. Sarong 25, Cripps 25, Charlie 2, Mackay 2. Always a little selfish prick 1, and Michael Walters, Sonny, made it in.
On fire.
He is. He kicked 2 goals, 4 on the weekend, Jerry.
Yeah, he's in real good form. So there's more good legs. So if we get through, now this is the thing. If we're alive after those 2 games,
It's thin.
I reckon it wins.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, it's just 2, yeah.
So it just wins. So it's 2 bigger games. So now we got Bont 25, Stewart 20,
Yep.
Jeremy Cameron 2.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
home.
And then after that, we got Tom Green 30, Rao 25, and Jesse Hogan 3. He's
the common medalist.
he's second favourite.
Yep.
He's
on
got to
fire.
kick some goals.
They get it down and quick. He's a beautiful set shot. Then we got Max King for 3,
Yep.
Jack Sinclair for 25,
Both hit.
And then to finish off, I think we all agree, Guinea for 2 against the Old Flame.
Jack Ginnivan for
course.
2.
That's a great multi,
Is that
Dev.
it?
What do we have on
That's
that?
it. We got $10 on it.
Wow.
We just got to get through this Swans game.
And Carlton.
Let me reread what the Swans did last year against the Eagles.
One more
Beaten
time.
by 171 points. The Eagles are injured. They're limping. They're
Yep.
no good.
Yep.
Heaney kicked 5 goals, 4 and had 22 touches. Amadi kicked 4, Logan 4, McLean 3, Goulden 3 and 32, Chad 2 and 33, and Blakey 23.
Do you remember the time before that? We were Easter, was it last year or the year before? No, it was the year before. We got the Swans. They were minus 9.5 against the Eagles.
That's right. I do remember
I
this.
put 100 on them, and they went by 50 at quarter time. I was like, I think they won by 130. I'm like, that is the best line I've ever seen in my life. I looked at it. I'm like, I got to put 100 on this. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. West Coast is shit.
It's sort of the game as well. I feel like if this is in round 18, you might get a bit of a mercy rule because you're looking towards final. But at this stage of the year, you're healthy. You
Especially after a loss last
take the
week.
percentage.
The Swans come off a loss, and
Yep.
we've got to bye next week.
Oh, Jesus.
West Coast are gonna get treated like a bunch of red-headed stepsons. They are gonna get an ass kicking.
This is not financial advice, but if your nan has any super left, no.
No, we don't want to go. But
If she's not in a box 6 feet under,
that is the game to go after for sure.
put your hand in her pocket.
I'm gonna be at that game just like a fat bloke eating cake. I'm gonna be that happy.
Like a frog in a pond.
Swans win by 100 plus.
That's
Lock it in.
I reckon they do.
Yeah, and we're gonna be
that probably
there.
pays $8.
Oh, the festival of beers.
Oh, Carlton versus Fremantle.
Game of the round.
Blues shake the curse at Adelaide Oval, and we win by 24 points.
24 points.
A good, honest win.
Lou, I'll give you one round game. Lou, you can pick a winner. Gold Coast GWS.
You said GWS by 19. Chile, baby, back ribs, the reach around.
Reach around.
See you
We'll see
there.
you on the road.
Back on the road again.